bot kickoff strats. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel like we get it a lot on series that we cast. Like, we watch all of these behind the scenes, and I don't think it happens quite that often.
It's enough earlier on today. Not the other semi-final. I didn't see anything too weird. And then we've had 3 and 4 games. Complete unforced errors. But, you know, there was also another unforced error in the last game. Vatira kind of giving G1 a goal back by just unnecessarily hitting the ball into the player that was driving right at him. And you could see that he was driving right at him. I'm not sure if that was just some kind of mind game for Vatira. Maybe he's thinking, well, he knows that I can see him coming, so I'm just going to hit the ball into him anyway because he'll probably fake. And then, yeah, they didn't. I mean, it's marked by A. It's a Spanish first man. They're not gonna fake. They're obviously gonna drive into the ball. Oh, look at this. That's just a goal from distance. Rare Karmine Corp misplay with their attempted squeeze. Oh, so often we see that dive in connect, but AtomiK was quick to the punch and accurate from distance as well.
Yeah, the first time. I mean, we could probably go back and look at every single goal Karmine Corp have conceded this split. You'd be very lucky to find many that have been from hits on the opposing side of the field. It's not the sort of goal they end up letting happen, as the bouncing hit ends up being a little bit awkward. G1, a rare good start for them. They've actually got a series where they don't have to try and claw their way back into the game. Let's see what they can do with it, because as I mentioned, got to win 3 in a row here, and KC still have their timeout. Oh my goodness! Oh, you can't stop it!
Well, Vatira just snuck into the cross the box position here. He's still one boost to one side, crosses over the box. There's no demo, no problem. Ball cam's on, see the pass coming, and a perfect redirect on target. You know, well played by Exotic again. He assisted the overtime goal in the last game. Now he's assisted the opener for Karmine Corp in game 5. G1's hopes to make it major, looking less and less likely with every passing minute. They still have control of their own destiny, but there's only so many times you can allow Karmine Corp to come back into a series before they just take it all.
Oh, good challenge to realize that they've got to give up on this offense for the time being. Players on his team out just from one player's challenges. AtomiK midfield. Nice play to get the ball away. There's the infield pass, but it was to the opposite team. Marked by 8 now, up to the air. This has been the most success G1 have had, is just going for those outplays. Getting the ball in a playable position from a midfield bounce has been a pretty rare occurrence for them. And getting that outplay against the entirety of KC is even rarer.
You know, they are still in this. If we're thinking about win conditions for G1, well, ignoring game 2, they've looked extremely competitive in every game. And especially once they can get into a back and forth midfield like this, which not many teams are comfortable against Karmine Corp. Usually this is the kind of play that just eventually starts to swing more and more in Karmine Corp's favor. And G1 have actually been awkward, they've been creative, and they've done it again. They've broken down KC's defense, this time with a fake challenge, marked by 8, just driving into the ball. Exotic's expecting him to flip, and Exotic's actually created the power on that pass there, which again, AtomiK is first to read.
Feels like the basis of all of the goals we're seeing go in at the moment are the same. Just find a way to displace the defenders and make sure second man is there as quickly as possible. We've had that in pretty fascinating ways from KC. Same thing over there for G1. Over 2 minutes left. And just over 12 minutes required from G1 if they are to take this series. Can they get themselves a 2-goal lead? I mean, that's not a position they found themselves in.
I believe just once this series, they were able to extend the lead late in the game. They are still trying to press up for it. They know better than to sit in defense. They saw what happens when you sit in defense against Karmine Corp. Game 2 of this series, where they just sat in defense for 5 seconds and they got stuck there for the entire game almost. G1 have to keep the comms clean. All it takes against Karmine Corp is one simple mistake in the midfield. If 2 players dive in offense, okay, now we've got a problem. Defensively, we were talking earlier about how, you know, these defensive double commits these days, not really too much of an issue at times. The recoveries are instantaneous, but in offense, it can be a different story if players are lunging in.
Oh, there it is.
And they're out of the game. This is so key that Dorito makes the safe touch. He does. Karmine Corp trying to patiently wait for that mistake. So far, it hasn't arrived.
Okay.
They've been the first to make it. They've confused themselves on that one, Shogun.
Good. Sure. Well, they're still in a good spot for them. Low boost on Itachi. He's going to be trying to get himself back. That might open up some gaps here for G1 to escape. And instead, it's a wide open ball. Nobody challenged that for the longest time. 50 seconds on the clock. But Tira looking for the double. Two players committed, but in that position, you're a lot better to go for the double commit. You're in defense. You can land on the wall. The recovery is easier. Exotic didn't like that first one. Decides to just wait for his second opportunity. And KC doing great when they go laterally. Just put somebody, if you've got the ball on the right-hand side, put the passing option over in the deep left. And that might be their way back into this and to force an overtime.
It's been a quiet game 5, but that's what G1 want. They're not going to like this. It's actually still going after his own shot here. Just an important touch from the G1 defense to deflect what would have been a venomous strike over the bar and wide. Now just a few seconds left for Karmine Corp to work with. They're not going to get up in the air. G1 win game 5. And now they cannot be thinking about what could have been. We've been talking about it a lot today. They've kind of given a bunch of free goals to Karmine Corp. That doesn't matter right now. What matters is that they are 2 games away from the grand final. 2 games away from joining Moist and Team Liquid on the exact same points total.